was a really hard day, but yeah, we all knew that before coming to Florida round, and felt good all day, and give everything I had, and yeah, make it. So really stoked.
Awesome. And then we'll move to second place on the day, Justin Cooper. Justin, I know one of your goals was to put together 2 consistent motos, which you finally were able to do today. You got your best overall finish of the season. How was the day for you? And do you feel you're in a good spot heading into the final 2 rounds?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot better day. I really didn't ride that well in the first moto. So that's the only really thing I've been missing, which has kind of been that was my strong point last year. I'd be good in the first motos, and then I'd be worse in the second moto. But this year, all 7 rounds have been – my better finish has come from the second moto. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but definitely physically, feeling good. It was definitely hot and tough late in the second moto, but I was able to ride a lot better, and I was pretty happy with how I rode. So that was a plus. And just got to work on, I don't know, those guys are pretty intense in the first couple laps for the first moto. So just got to, either get a better start or, fight those guys a lot harder, because they're definitely willing to do that. But, yeah, good to get back on the podium, and really looking to finish the year out strong.
Thanks, Justin. And then GEICO Honda's Jeremy Martin, 3rd overall in the day. Jeremy, you had to come through the pack a little bit in both of the motos, 13 points down with 2 rounds remaining. How was your day for you, and what do you need to do heading into these final 2 rounds?
Yeah, so the first time I've ever been to WW Ranch, and the track was pretty fun. I knew it was going to be high speed, but dang it, man, I didn't realize it would be that high speed. But yeah, not just a 3-3 day for me for 3rd overall, so nothing fancy, Definitely Dylan was riding really well today. He got really good starts. Both motos, he was out of the gate better than me. So, yeah, I did what I could. I was kind of fighting it all day today. But I did everything that I could, and we got 2 rounds left. So we'll fight it into the end here and see what happens.
Thanks, Jeremy. And we'll go ahead and open it up for questions. And Johnny Hopper, we'll start with you.
Cool. Thank you. This is Johnny Hopper with 2-4 Speed and MX Unfiltered. Justin, this first one's for you. You guys only have an hour in between motos, and with it being so hot, what does your recovery look like? Do you just sit in water? I mean, how do you cool yourself off? What do you do to get yourself back in the game mentally and physically?
To be honest, the way I rode the first moto, I was more than willing to get back out there for the second moto, which is not a good thing, but that's kind of how I felt the whole season. I feel like I've left a little bit out there in the first moto, and I guess need to be more aggressive when it comes to that. It was like a freight train in the first moto, so I don't know. It was hard to definitely pass out there, but you got to make it happen in that situation. So it was pretty easy for me. I was ready to go for the second moto. I didn't really use much energy in the first one, so otherwise, if I rode like I should have, yeah, definitely would have been a little bit harder to turn it around like that. And but yeah, it was pretty easy for me to be honest. So hopefully it's a little bit harder in Colorado. Hopefully I give it a little bit more effort in the first moto.
Cool. The weather's supposed to be good there. It's not supposed to be snow, which is good for October. Thanks, Justin. Jeremy, this one's for you. I know the commentators hinted at a little bit of team orders. Do you think that the Yamaha boys might have any sort of team orders to make life hard on you just because we're winding down here?
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, obviously, Dylan went 1-1 last weekend at Millville, and then he went 1-1 this weekend. So, I mean, there's no team orders on my side. Obviously, Jet. I was on Jet in the first moto, and then I couldn't get around him and my brother. or I think maybe it was my brother, but I couldn't get around Jet, and then Jet just got away. And yeah, he got second, I got third. So I don't think there's really any team orders from GEICO, or there's any team orders from Star.
Cool. Thanks, Jeremy. I thought you rode awesome. And my last question is for you, Dylan. I've had a couple of the privateers message me and say that the track was really slippery. Did you guys change the ignition mapping at all to kind of retard the motor to make it easier to ride?
No, we don't do that. I think in 450 you can do it maybe, but in 250, when you start to do stuff like that, you always lose a little bit on power. So no, we haven't done anything of that. We changed the front tire. We rode with a front tire that we never use. Even, I mean, that's the only place where we used it, and it works well. But other than that, no. I think when it's slippery, you have to just try to find solution on the bike and be nice on the throttle and stuff like that. But I mean, it was slippery, right? But was not that bad. I mean, some place in Millville last weekend were more slippery than today, for example. So no, nothing crazy on the bike today.
Cool. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
And we'll go ahead and turn over to you, Darkside.
Dylan, start with you. You're about to head back to a couple tracks that, in theory, probably favor you. Going to Elevation at Lakewood, where the Yamaha is very strong, and then going to Palo, where you put in a fair share of laps. Does that ease the, I guess, not necessarily the stress, but are you more confident going into these last two rounds now that maybe there's a somewhat of a slight advantage? Or do you think there's an advantage?
No, absolutely not. Like I said, I think last weekend I have kind of similar question. I did well last year on track where I did well on some track, and this year I did not. And opposite, I did bad on the last 3 years and did well at Millville. So I think it's just on a race day. It's about being feeling good on the race day and getting good start and just see how the other rider perform. No, I mean the Thunder Valley, the altitude can help with the bike, but I mean we saw everybody have a good bike. Like it's not like our bike are maybe slightly more powerful, but at the end, like we saw G Marty won Red Bud with his bike, and I just think the difference is not there. I think the difference is on the race day how you feel and the start you get or the speed you have. It's more that, and Pala, I mean, it's not my favorite track. Even if I train every week on this track, on race day, the conditions are really, really different. So no really advantage. I think it's like Jim Marcel last week. Millville is home track, but on race day, it's so much different that when you practice on. So we see. I just gonna ride like every other track.
All right, Justin. I guess I want to touch on what Hopper asked a second ago. You know, the theory of maybe having team orders. You got a pit board come out that says, "Hey, let Dylan by or hold up J-Mart." Is that something that you would even really? How would you react to something like that?
I don't think I would ever get that pit board, honestly. Maybe if it was like a championship, like last moto of the year, like it's just not. That's not the way that they're not looking at it like that. I mean, yeah, they want Dylan to win the championship, obviously, but it's really let the best man win. Like Jeremy and Dylan, they're gonna do their thing. I'm gonna be, trying to do my own thing and try to get on the podium or even go for race wins. That's my goal. So whether I gain points for Dylan or, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm out there to do my best, so I wouldn't really roll over for Dylan, and I wouldn't roll over for Jeremy. So they're gonna duke it out on their own. And what happened today actually in the second moto, I got the whole shot, and Dylan just went right by me, and I tried to stay in front of him for as long as I could, and that was like a half lap. So he he went right by me in the rollers, and that was that. So if it was up to me, yeah, I'd try to win. I'd try to win the race, but yeah, not much to say about that. It's
that's what I would expect.
If it comes down to the last moto, maybe it's just going to come down to the better guy, and nothing really I do is going to really affect anything, I feel.
Okay. And J-Mart, last one for you. Obviously, I think you're 15 down, if I have my numbers right. What's something that you're going to work on this week? What do you need to improve, or do you change anything going into the last two?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm trying to improve the bike a little bit right now. I felt pretty good, but today I struggled a little bit with getting my rear into the ground to drive forward in the rollers and stuff today. So I'll talk with the team this week, and I debriefed with them after I got done racing today. So we're going to try to take a little stab at this new shock to see if we can help close that gap a little bit on Dylan. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I can't control, like I said, I've said it earlier this year, I can't control what he's going to do. I think Dylan respects me. Obviously, he knows I respect him. We race each other hard, and may the best man win. And it's been a fun series so far, and hopefully we can make it a barn burner here down to the end.
All right, good answer. I may hit you up later. I need a part number for a Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
And Anton, go ahead.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Michael Antonovich, Slot Moto Live. Jeremy, I'll ask you this question. Loretta's one, I think, was probably one of the gnarlier races of the year that we've had so far, just because the track was so technical. The weather was hot. I mean, that was a really gnarly first race of the season. Today was super hot too, near triple-digit heat index. Did you feel like maybe the tracks were more demanding how technical Loretta's was, or is the sand track so brutal and rough that it beats you up a different way? Like, what day is harder?
That's honestly a good question. I kind of feel like Loretta's was pretty techy, like as far as with all the rain that we got, like as far as balance and just being able to stay in the rut, because the ruts were so long and they were so deep, where today was more of like a high speed, like kind of choppy, but kind of some rollers rough. So I would say it kind of beat me up differently than Loretta's. Like I was probably more sore today from today's effort than I probably was from, honestly, the Loretta Lynn's,
Okay. Dylan, for you had some passing and stuff to do today, and that track had a lot of different elements built into it, some split lanes and things like that. The faster guys, you guys use different lines than maybe 10th place back. Do you feel like those options are helpful for you, or does it all pretty much file into one single lane no matter what?
Well, it was helpful. I think some places of the track were good to pass, some not. It's always like this. I think they could improve. If I can say that, I think they could improve on some place on the track to open some line. But we see in both 250 and 450 that it was possible to make pass. So. But yeah, the double line was I like it actually. It was like it a lot.
Thank you, Justin. Last question for you. You've kind of raced your way back into shape after a rough start to the season, the injury. How close to 100% do you feel right now? And then is there still some issues you're trying to get figured out with your hand, or are you all the way past it?
No, I would say the first 2 rounds at Loretta's were. Like I rode with a little bit of pain, but I would say right now, like nothing's holding me back nothing's hindering my performance. So it's all on me now. And we're just trying to get, I guess you could say, we're just working hard with the team to put me in a position where I'm comfortable on the bike and, to go after the podiums and stuff like that. But it definitely the season's already almost over, which is crazy, and it's been a struggle. It's certainly expected to do better than I have, so it's good to get this one under under my belt, and just looking to do more of the same for the last two, and just fight for the top spot. That's kind of what I want to go out doing. So these guys got a championship battle going on, but I'm looking to I guess mix things up a little bit.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Dan Lamb.
Yeah, I'll start with Dylan. Going into today, 3-point difference. You come out, you're fastest in qualifying, fastest in the first moto by like 2 seconds, maybe more. Fastest in the second moto by almost a second. Just a perfect day. I mean, was this a day where you came into the day where I have to make a statement, I have to throw it down today and take command?
Yes, of course. Every race and every racer show up with that mindset. Yeah, for sure. At this point of the season, before today, we were really close with Jeremy, and it was him or me. So lucky I did, and I built this gap, so it's really good. But like you said, there is 2 more rounds. There is 2 times 50 points to get, so a lot can happen. But for sure, I rather have a 13-point lead than a 13-point behind.
And do you look at stats like that after the race, or is that just left for us?
No, I look just curiosity. But I mean, from my riding, I felt that I was on it today, and I felt that I could push more if I needed. And so when you have this feeling, I mean, it's kind of when I have this feeling, I feel like I'm faster. So I saw the lap time and everything, and it's good. It's really good. I'm really happy.
Nice. How much tougher was the track staying with you? How much tougher was the track in Moto2? I think you were 4 seconds. The pace was 4 seconds a lap slower. Was it that much tougher?
Yeah. I mean, all day this track is the layout is really difficult physically. Is all this wave section that kill the leg, like really it's killer, and you add the heat and humidity that make a really hard place to ride. But I think I don't know why we were so much slower compared to Moto 1, but I mean it's often like this. But I try to remember why. I think it's just the bump and the ruts and the track getting more bumpy, and so that make us slower probably. But I don't remember why we were so slower. It's weird. But anyway, the track was really demanding physically today.
Looked like it. Thanks. And for Jeremy, it looked tough to pass out there today. You got into it with you hit with your brother. Did you guys talk after the race or anything like that?
Yeah. So I actually just had dinner with Alex tonight and his wife Kelsey and stuff. So we were talking about it at dinner, and I was like, "Dang it, man!" I said, "Dude, you weren't like I was like trying to get you, And he had the inside, and he was bulldogging it, and I just sent it in there, and I was like, I didn't think you were gonna give it to me, so I came in and I still went for it, and I high-sided, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, you took me out," and I was like, "Dude, like I just didn't think you were gonna get." You weren't making it easy, that's for dang sure. So he went down, and we kind of just laughed about it. And he's like, "Yeah, I got back up," and he goes, "It was just gnarly in the back of the pack back there." And he's like, "Oh, it took me a full lap just to recover, because when it's hot like that, I feel like if you do go down, you kind of feel like you're like, oh man, like you take a little bit of a break, and then you got to get back into that mode." And he's like, "Yeah, it took me like a full lap."
Thanks. And one last question, Justin. These last 2 tracks are both good tracks for you. I think you were second at both, or second and third at both last year. Are you looking forward to these last 2 and maybe keeping this momentum going and maybe grabbing a win before the end?
Yeah, so these last 3, I was all right at Millville in the past, but these last 3, I won here last year, and I got second at the other 2 coming up. So basically, if I'm gonna be on the podium, it's gonna be these rounds. So if I'm not, there's something up. So it's good to be competitive today a little bit, and looking forward to the next 2. I like Colorado a lot. I felt like I threw the overall there away last year. I remember I side saddled the bike in Moto 2, but yeah, I really do good there, and I don't really know why, but I enjoy that track, and I enjoy that, you know, that whole event. So really looking forward to Colorado, and I think Paula is going to be, I mean, yeah, we ride there a lot and train there a lot, but it's been closed for like the last 3 weeks because, you know, they're just going to redo probably the whole entire track. So it's going to be a new racetrack for everyone, and there's not really going to be an advantage there, but I do gel with the track and the dirt, I think. So, yeah, looking forward to the last two and finishing, you know, on a high note.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Alex Gobert.
Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. This one's for Jeremy. With 2 rounds remaining, how important is it for you to put yourself in a position after Colorado that's going to maintain the pressure on Dylan in terms of the championship? I think the next one's going to be really important to, you know, just narrow that gap just a little bit. Yeah,
I mean, for sure. You know, that's a good question. Every race is important to put myself in a good position. You know, I mean, obviously, I had a 9-point swing over Dylan at Millville, and he brought it back. So anything can happen in a weekend. The 250 class is very competitive. Some guys are finding more speed here later in the season, including my teammate Jet. Justin Cooper's getting a little faster and sharper too. So, you know, yeah, I just try to do what I can and put myself in get better starts than what I've been getting. And, yeah, like I said, fight for it.
And also for Dylan, as a former Grand Prix rider, still on the 250 obviously at the moment, how much would you say you've progressed as a rider over the past few years being in the US and especially outdoors?
A lot. I think I progressed a lot. But I think I would progress same if I did stay in Europe because of just the experience, the learning and everything. But it's more the people that I met here in the US, the people I work with, and what they helped me to achieve. It's more this that I think I was really lucky to find the right person, and yeah, I mean, I feel I don't know. Yeah, I think like I said, would be the same in Europe, but for sure, like today, my experience in Europe riding sand track was definitely a big help today, because even if the track was not that much sand, the technique was pretty similar, and I think it helped me a lot today.
Awesome, thanks.
Any other questions for these guys in the 250 class? Awesome. Well, Dylan, Justin, Jeremy, good job today. Appreciate you taking the time to join us this evening, and we'll see you guys in a week.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Then we'll give it a few more minutes for the 450 riders to join us, and then go ahead and get started with the 450 side of the press conference.
Wow, I just realized that picture's pretty sick. I didn't know that was my cover photo on here.
Damn, even the red plates. Nice move.
Yeah, that looks good.
Looking good.
I should just leave my video off at all times.
Yeah, we don't need to see you. Just leave that up.
All right, see you guys.
See you, Jason.
Thanks, Justin.